This is another type of classification. If an equation contains only ordinary derivatives of one or more dependent variable with respect to a single independent, you see, أنا الدنيا هم كتير X single independent أو أنا independent أو dependent أو دو مصطلحات لتانتي كونها دي independent. So if we have an equation contains only ordinary derivative of one or more dependent with respect to only one independent, in this case we call ordinary differential equation. This is what we call ordinary differential. The other case, when we have, so this one, the other one, you see, we have only one independent. Only when we say independent, we mean T or X. We don't care if it's square or it's X in all the shapes. It's X, it's T. So if it's square or not square, it's only one variable. Yek nago problem Gora X. لا ثمانية نزال سزال يك إكس كده صح حرف جديد كده
وبس جيري عفوش نفس
جيري كان كميدالين independent. In this case, you see, you have here the dependent is 2, but the independent is only 1. So all those equations are considered ordinary differential equations. In the other side, we have the second type, which we call partial differential equation. In this case, what the definition says, an equation involving partial derivative of one or more dependent variable of two or more independent variable. So, du over dx. At the same time, du over dy. For example, change of the volume and the weight per time, or change of the volume with respect to the time, at the same time change of the weight with respect of the volume, for example. So these are more than one independent. Here you have two independent. In this one you have, but here you have one dependent. And then you have the other case. More than one independent, more than one dependent. Two different dependent, two different independent. عندك زي العلاقة بين زيادة لا اشتك ليكا دلي معادلة أو معادلة ليكا مع قرن حلمات معادلة كانت سنة كده بيني علاقة بين زيادة لا سنشتكى. Now, ordinary differential equation. When a function involves one independent variable, the equation is called ordinary differential. This is an example. This is an example of ordinary differential equation. This is another example. You see, you have the dependent, independent, you have dependent, independent. So y is the dependent variable and x is independent variable. In the case of partial differential equation, these are more detailed examples. The same case. You have y, the derivative of y for x, derivative of, u per y. In this case, you have the independence u, the independence x and t. So this is also some sort of, when you write in this term, you will say x as a function of t. But here you have f as a function of x and y, because x and y also, both of them, they are dependent. So f is dependent on two variables. In this case, x is dependent on one variable. This is also the idea of solution. In this case, for example, when you have an algebraic equation, you can find the solution very easily. For example, in this equation, x squared will be equal to 1, so x will be either plus or minus. But in the case of the differential equation, the solution will be different. The solution of the derivative equation will be an equation, not numbers. So the solution of the derivative equations usually is another equation. So that is the difference between a normal algebraic equation and derivative equations. So, at the same time, for the derivative equations, we have two types of solutions. We have what we call general solutions, and we have particular solutions. When we say general solution, that means the solution will be an equation. For example, if you return back, the solution of this one is an equation. This is the general solution for this equation. But if you need a particular solution for this one, in that case, you have to assume what you want the x and y to be. For example, this is a general solution. Okay. أو معادلة معناها e to power minus أويان حلي طبعا هو حلك باية ما في عندك يكون حل لقات أو حلين أو زي بس شرحتين فرق سيا أو كحلت كده معادلة أو ما له دلتي باشا ده الفرد بيكون حل ده كأنها تاو دلتي أويان في دلين جنرال سوليوشن حلي عام لو تبين معادلة نتيجة كده بلا أجر بتبي particular solution ويبدوزيوا أو كاتدري let's say نقطة let's say x y يعني حلي أو نقطياتية كواد أو وقت في مستقبلي مثلا كاتك at y is equal to 1 x equal to مثلا 2 دي وانا تعويض لك ديرا y لبتا كواي كبابين كاتك دوا قبل واي دوزيوا دبتوا e to power minus 3 لزيادي أو قيمة واي كدوزيوا أجا قيمة x يكش طبعا وقت يوا دبتوا يك كاتك واي يكا أو النتيجة من نقطة شبيهة كلا أو يعني كده particular solution حلي يعني حل شوية لخالق لا خالق لا وكا بلى متى ما استم موضوعك كمان يبقى differential equations يعني لما باش دي فيرت عندك يكون أو إذا كناوا دي سيسار لك كاتك أو معقد تبيتون لزيادة second order, third order بي, higher order بي, شون حلي ذكي. أنواعي رجاء كان بكالي. فبلين أو introduction أو تواو موضوع كاه مبيكوي يعني introduction أو موضوع على قب خويته قب خويته واحد. أو إني بلين introduction شوف كيف دانش ندوها بينه لازم معاصر. introduction differential equation ولا قب على كأنه مبيكوي. Okay. So we have two different types of solutions, general solution and particular solution. Okay. This part is finished. Any questions? شلون توزيع وقتك عندك؟ يعني مثلا أما 6 ساعات كان يقول لك بين بعد 2 ساعات 2 ساعات يقول 6 ساعات بس 6 ساعات في بروانا إن شاء الله. أنا بقول لك دي على الأولى عمليا يا. أو مشكلة شيء قوية. هذا بدرس شيء عملي درس شيء نظري تكل وكذا. أما وقت الانتظار 6 ساعات يوان لك طبعا. نقول الانتظار حتى بس ما عملي باش.